Welcome everybody to the 1.4.4 patch notes video, Mike edition. I'm a bit late here, like there are already lots and lots of patch notes videos out there, and normally I try to keep up or be one of the first to upload a patch notes video because, well, being the first on YouTube regarding new content matters quite a bit. But not this time. This time my video will be probably one of the last patch note videos that will get released, but I'm cool with that. Let's say I just want to wait a little bit how the new patch evolves on a test server before joining all this doomsday hype / talk that happened the last couple of weeks. And I'm really glad that I waited. Let's get this started. Welcome to the channel once more, to probably the most controversial patch in the history of Showdown. As always, the footage regarding the new stuff is taken from the test server. There's always a little chance that it changes before it hits live. But I'm pretty confident that the last patch from last Friday, the patch number 2, was the final one regarding balance and content, and they're probably working right now on a few more bug fixes. This is a patch notes video, so be prepared that most of the stuff that I'm saying is my personal opinion, and spoiler, it is okay to have different opinions. As always, there will be timestamps, so you can just jump to the topic that you're interested in. There will be one specific topic where we will spend a bit more time, but I think it's necessary. I honestly do not want to talk about it anymore, but I guess it can't be helped. Let's do this. Bug fixes and stability. Okay, let's start with something that is very pleasant, bug fixes and stability. So as I announced, 1.4.2, 1.4.3 and also 1.4.4 are little patches for fixing bugs. They tried to, or actually they managed to get rid of a very few critical bugs, like for example the getting stuck bug or AI being able to attack player on spawn. So I'm pretty happy that stuff is gone. There are a few more bugs where they have ongoing investigations. For example, you kill people, they have a nice loadout, and then you get the message, ammo full, so you cannot loot their guns. By the way, there's a workaround regarding that. If you put them on fire and then put them out with a choke bomb, you're able to loot their stuff. It's sure, it's kind of annoying, but if you absolutely want their guns and you still have a choke bomb, that's the way to do it. And also, although it happens not that often anymore, the un-ADS from the weapon, the right-click bug, is still a little bit in there, but it's very rare, at least for me. And I got that at the end almost a couple times in each match. So contact the Discord mods if you want to support them. Then they will tell you how to do that, because they need some files, log files, and stuff like that. Okay, so bug fixes, very nice. Next topic. New traits. So as mentioned, 1.4.4 will not have lots of new content, but there are still some. We got 2 new traits. Let's have a look at them. The first one is Whispersmith. Reduces noise when selecting equipment, unlocked at rank 32, costs 2 points. Nice. I was looking for a trait like this for a very long time actually. It's not OP and it will not be used that often. It will only give you an advantage in certain loadouts. For example, let's say bomb lands, crossbow, shotgun builds, and all these loadouts that have a range option as the secondary, like an uppercut or a Mosin Obris mace or stuff like that. So when you have your uppercut in your hand or your Mosin Obris mace and people surprise you and they get really close to you and you want to switch to the nice close range weapon, they will hear that, and if they're experienced, they will react accordingly to that. So Whispersmith will get you some nice little funny moments there probably. Next one is Necromancer. And Necromancer is a trait where the chat went already a little bit I have to say. Let's check that out, okay? Revives down partner from a distance. It works like Serpent. The distance is 25 meters and it's a channel time of 10 seconds. And for each second, you lose 2.5 hit points. So that means in total, you lose 25 hit points if you channel it completely. Now, lots of people were asking, wait. Does it mean that bar is burned, like destroyed? For example, when it happens with fire or when you get downed? No, it's just you take damage and that's it. You can heal up again. And yes, it means when you play with a big bar on the right, you get an advantage. And I think it's okay because it balances out the disadvantage of the big bar that you can only get revived so many times. So then, I think I disagree with people who say that Necromancer will be the must-have trait. It will be pretty strong at the beginning, definitely, until people figure out how to counter that one. And let's say you can counter Necromancer normally pretty easily. For example, when you fight in compounds, you take a bear trap. So there are a few items that are completely free and blind counter Necromancer. It also doesn't extinguish fire. When people use Necromancer on you, when you're downed and on fire, it will stop the progress of the burning. But you need to be completely revived to stop the burning completely. And you don't need a line of sight. Lots of people were like, wait, what? You don't need a line of sight? So when my teammate rushes in there with a shotgun and he dies, I can revive him from outside. This is awesome, but this is also OP. And I was, at first, I have to admit, I was like, WTF? Are you serious? No line of sight? That does seem really strong, especially for 4 points. But again, there's so much out there that counters that. All your tripwires, if they don't have an antidote shot, like, it will buff Concertina Trip Mine, the bear trap will be fun. And also, it will buff the relevance of weaker traits that normally not a lot of people pick. Resilience. If you have Resilience and the revive you with Necromancer, you're almost with full HP back in the game. That is strong, and the normal bear trap and the Concertina trap will not kill you. Also, Poacher for exactly placing these traps will be suddenly a little bit more valuable. And stuff like a Concertina Bomb or Poison Bomb will be stronger as well, because, let's be honest, Concertina Bomb, yeah, I don't really often pick that. Can block revives, but a Frag Bomb just straight up kills somebody, right? So, Concertina Bomb might see a little bit more of a play. Also, let's see, what do I have here in my notes? Yeah, I think, for example, when you can hear footsteps pretty well in this game, right? And some buildings are very big. If your teammate dies at an entry point, you could use the Concertina Bomb to block the path to your downed teammate and then revive him. That works too. Let's see. I think there will be lots of plays where Necromancer will be game deciding. Absolutely. But same goes for traits like Lightfoot, Doctor, Pitcher. That one Frag Bomb that you toss super far with Pitcher decided already many games for me. So I think at the beginning Necromancer will look very strong, but after a couple weeks when people know how to play against it, it will be different. Let's see. Next. New weapon variant. So yeah, they added a new variant for the Winfield Vandal. And it's called the Vandal Striker. It's basically the Vandal with a knife attached to it. The melee stats are exactly the same from a knife. So with a heavy attack, you can actually one-shot hunters the moment you hit the head. It's the final unlock from the Winnie C. And it takes 750 XP to unlock the Vandal Striker after the Vandal Deadeye. That's not enough XP, that's like 1-2 meatheads and everything that you kill on the way over there. I think it will be pretty nice. The Vandal Striker is one of these guns that might even free up a tool slot because you don't need the knife anymore. Sure, consumes a bit more stamina, obviously. I think it will be nice. Same with the Vandal in general. Let's see how this will be used from people in their loadouts. But that's it for weapon variants. Let's go to the next topic. Movement improvements. Alright, refactored controls to allow more fluid transitions between equipment actions and sprinting. Now, what does that mean? Let me give you an example of what the issue here is. It feels like before 1.4.4 you were glued to the ground while performing certain actions, and of course that gets you killed sometimes. By the way, that's one of the reasons why people started quick swapping, because it lets you sprint immediately once you swap weapons. So yeah, no more quickswap is needed to bypass this clunky mechanic. But the next topic will be quickswap, so don't you worry, we will talk about that in a bit. So now you can sprint the moment the aim button is released. I will show you now 2 clips with 2 shots each. First with the old mechanic and then afterwards 2 shots with the new mechanic. And you will see that the moment I release the aim button, I can immediately sprint and it feels way better. Let's have a look. Quickswap changes. Oh yeah, great. I can't hear it anymore. Before I start, I have to say that I wasn't okay with a few things that came with 1.4.4 initially. So at no point I was like, oh, 1.4.4 is so fucking amazing and perfect. For example, the increased pistol sway whenever you enter ADS, not just after the swapping. But we get to that later. This video will cover the latest changes for 1.4.4. Now let's start with this topic from the beginning. So, what is Quickswap? Quickswap means that you press your weapon switch button to quickly draw your secondary weapon. Works both ways, from main to secondary and from secondary to main weapon. Why do people quickswap? As mentioned, you do this to immediately sprint after the bullet leaves the barrel. You want to bypass the clunky movement we just talked about. On top of that, quickswap avoids the recoil from your gun if you time it correctly, which is an exploit. Now you're like, oh Mike, this is just your opinion, that's never been an exploit. Not true. This is taken from the latest dev stream. This is not my work, okay? The moment the lead designer from Hunt Showdown calls it an exploit, it's an exploit. End of discussion. Powerful rifles have a recoil as one of their drawbacks. And Quickswap just bypassed that, and this was not intended. Now, but if it's an exploit, then why is it in the game for that long without Crytek doing anything? You know what? Fair point, this is a totally valid question, so I asked him. Let's have a look at the history behind all of this. And be careful, this is now pretty much info and a long story, but I think we have to mention the whole thing. So, let's go back to the early days of Hunt Showdown. I'm talking here like February 2018. The animation for the weapons and equipping was way slower back then. And at the end of 2018, they decided to sped up the weapon switching to make the game more accessible. They knew that veterans would profit from that, and they were okay with it. They hoped that these changes would bring more new players, and hopefully this trade-off, making veterans stronger, but also bringing new players, would pay off, or the trade-off would be at least okay. However, they underestimated how dominant this playstyle would become over the months and years. This quickswap style is normally used with single-shot weapons, right? Normally you pick sparks and an uppercut. Yes, I know, you can quickswap with all guns, and nerfing quickswap or adjusting quickswap will hit multiple builds. But I'm just mentioning sparks and uppercut because it's just what people pick most of the time. And these high damage single shot weapons, they have, for balance reasons, long reload times as a handicap and recoil. Imagine a sparks with a Winnie fire rate. I mean, sure, I'm exaggerating right now, but you get the point. So suddenly there was access to a 2-shot semi-auto playstyle with very high damage weapons, and it became more and more the main playstyle for competition. Let's jump to 1.0, the release of the game, and they reduced the sway. Whew. And after that, Quickswap became the dominant playstyle, because there was no access to a 2-shot semi-auto with, you know, very high damage weapons, with high accuracy. You want it to be called skilled, or still, you want to be called skilled in this game. No other option than using Quickswap, I guess. And don't get me wrong, I use Quickswap too. People still don't call me skilled. Weird. What is important to keep in mind is that this was a build up over months and years from multiple changes. Right now, like Hunt today, we challenged the difficulty getting new players. So new players, they enter the game and they face a community that is 3 years old. So you have a shit ton of veterans out there. New players face them due to the player base not being the biggest. So if you're wondering how new players can face experienced players and you want to know how the matchmaking works, check out my latest video regarding feedback for Crytek. So these people, the new players, they face veterans and they get stomped, they get crushed, okay? And they stop playing. So it is necessary to make this game as fair as possible, and it also includes fixing stuff like the recoil exploit. And adjusting the quickswap mechanic, you know? Now you will but you know, veterans will always crush new players. And that is true, you are correct. But regarding the game experience, it will hopefully make a difference if they get killed in the blink of an eye with a quick swap at mid-range to long range, or if they can actually drag out the combat because suddenly they might reach cover and can heal up and at least fight back. They will probably die at the end regardless, but they get some combat experience. They hopefully don't feel that helpless anymore. Let's just fingers crossed, the experience will hopefully be different. Also, they balanced lots of stuff over the years. The wind field was wide during early access with unlimited headshot range. Got adjusted. Shotguns applied bleed with only a single pellet hitting you, no matter the distance. Got fixed. The Nitro got reworked from iron sights to the aperture scope. The list goes on and on. And one thing is very important, Quickswap with the latest 1.4.4 changes is not gone. It's just a tiny bit slower. Of course, I agree with you guys, they should have done that earlier. They should have done that with 1.0 or even earlier. I fully agree, but it was also an issue regarding time and available resources at Crytek. Now, so what happened to Quickswap now exactly? They also added sway to the pistol. We also need to discuss this. To be more precise, whenever you switch to your pistol, they will add a sway for 2 seconds. So if you ADS, after you switch to your pistol, there will be an increased sway. If you run around with your pistol and you ADS, there will be no sway. So shooting your primary, immediately switching to your pistol, there will be sway for the first 2 seconds in ADS. Let's have a look at that. The sway will not happen should you invest, by the way, into Quartermaster and you pick a precision weapon if it's available. Now let's have a look how fast the old Quickswap was. I fire as fast as possible, and here's the total time before the second shot is fired. Now this footage here is from a test server with all adjustments they did over the last days, you know, because the development team never listens to feedback. Again, I try to shoot as fast as possible, and the time between the shots is exactly that much slower. Yeah, okay. So I would say Quickswap still works short to mid-range where the sway doesn't matter too much, but isn't as deadly anymore at long range. And also the recoil exploit got corrected. Then, there's one question that I got a lot. Are you okay with this? Honestly, yeah, I am, with the current state of 1.4.4. I use Quickswap a lot. It was just so damn good. I quickswapped after shooting the Winnie with a single bullet because it became basically muscle memory. Also, gonna be honest again, I think there are not a lot of ways that feel as amazing regarding killing somebody with a very fast and clean quickswap. But in my opinion, the whole package pre 1.4.4 Quickswap is/was too strong. It might even still be, we will see. But you know me, let's wait a couple weeks and see how everything will turn out. once the dust has settled. Again, with the click of a single button, I got more movement speed, there was no recoil on my primary weapon anymore, and I got access to a 2-shot semi-auto combo with high accuracy. Now, for all of you out there who want to tell me, but Mike, Quickswap was a matter of skill. What exactly was a matter of skill? The only thing that you had to learn was the timing for pressing Q, and then you got all these rewards. But you had to aim your second shot super fast. Yeah, that is correct, but it's not really aiming if, you know, there's no recoil and no sway. It's not that hard, let's be honest. And I'm saying that, and I'm a fucking noob, according to lots of people. So, with experience, you know where the crosshair is, because it's always like centered, lower third, even without seeing it, and you could track your target. So yeah, I'm happy that it got nerfed. There, I said it. But I'm also happy that it's still in the game. It is still an option to play the game, but it might not be the dominant playstyle anymore. And honestly, when I played on a test server, it felt really refreshing to play that way. You survive more. The TTK is time to kill, was longer. It feels more real, that whole combat. Who the fuck in the Wild West puts down their Mosin at 100 meters with still bullets in the gun to whip out their pistol to shoot at somebody? Yeah, I know. Realism in a game where you shoot zombies. I know. But you can't always say realism and then pick the side that you want. I think it just felt weird in combat. Additionally, and I think not a lot of people think about that will buff some traits that lots of people didn't use or rated in their tier lists as borderline useless. Iron Sharpshooter lets you shoot faster with your Mosin. Honestly, I never bought it. It was nice when the Hunter came with it. But buying it? Nah, not really, right? And all the Scopesmith traits gain value as well. I like it. This patch in general will give a bit more meaning to traits that not a lot of people picked. Resilience, Poacher, Iron Sharpshooter, and so on. Same goes with a couple consumables. Now, I also want to address a few concerns from the community, like I saw it in the Steam forums. Let's discuss them. Everybody will play the Dolch. Maybe. For a week or two. But afterwards, probably not so much. Just think about it. If the Dolch is really that OP, why isn't everybody playing it now? Why do people pick mostly the uppercut? And picking the uppercut, like, this is the most picked weapon, secondary, in the game. Why don't they pick the Dolch right now? Because they don't like the gun? Because people have pride to not play semi-auto weapons? Then why would that change now? And if you know me, I preach it almost every stream. When people ask me, Mike, which guns would you like to see added to the game? Then my answer is almost always, I don't care which guns they will add. Please, no more fully automatics and semi-automatic guns. Okay, so I'm not here trying to protect here spammy weapons. It's just, I don't know, man. If it's about your pride, your pride will probably not change, right? So probably uppercut is just that good. Nerf uppercut 1.5. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know what happens when people try to touch the uppercut. Alright, next. I don't like to play the gun, but now I probably have to so I can stay competitive. We are still talking about the Dolch right here. And I will sound now a little bit mean, but I do hope you see the irony in that one. So, since over a year at least, people have to play long ammo Quickswap to stay competitive. And that was okay. It was probably okay because it's just the playstyle that you like, am I right? Now imagine there are people out there that did not like that playstyle. Ever thought about that, people? It's kinda, that argument is kinda, you know, yeah, pretty juicy irony, I would say there. Okay, another question. Yes, but now it will be hunt spam down. Jesus Christ. I can't see that anymore, to be completely honest with you guys. Now, let's have a look at that regardless. You mean the same hunt spam down that happened with the buff of compact ammo, right? The same hunt spam down with the addition of the oh so devilish OP levering. The same hunt spam down with the addition of dual wielding. All of this was not enough to dethrone long ammo from being the best loadout. I'm not just talking here about quickswap, just long ammo is king right now, okay? And this is honestly insane, because I agree that all of these changes weakened long-range loadouts. And it's still so insanely dominant. By the way, I asked the hunt development team to give me a list regarding the most picked weapons, because right now everybody can only guess or has a very biased opinion, like, oh yeah, everybody's picking the dodge, everybody's picking the uppercut, and okay? This statement includes me too, by the way. I'm not safe from that. So sadly I don't have the list yet. Hopefully one day. Would be cool. Or at least like the top 10 picked weapons. I think a lot of people would be surprised. And now also imagine everybody plays the dodge. Then we adjust it. It's not like they didn't change the dodge already a bazillion times. Back in the days that thing had, I think, less sway, less recoil. I'm not 100% sure about that. But it definitely had more ammo. And it was a medium ammo gun. Still the same damage, by the way. So resupplying that thing was easy as fuck. And you took a readily cheap as fuck to get a crazy ammo pool. People are so scared that the meta might change. So yeah, I personally think the dodge will see an increase in pick rate. Most likely right after the patch. But will it be the weapon everyone picks? Let's see. I don't think so. And if I'm wrong, then it can still be adjusted again. You know, it's not like the Hunt Showdown development team is not listening to us. Alright, next one. This patch will slow down the game. All the latest changes slow down the game. This is weird, because it's Hunt spam down, am I right? And the game where everybody rushes you and spams you down, how can Hunt spam down be slow? That's fast, right? Sounds fast. Because you sure as hell don't play Hunt spam down at long range and win. Okay, on a more serious question right now, the answer to this question is yes and no. You can play now way more medium range loadouts without getting slaughtered as easily. They did lots of things to make non-shotgun loadouts way stronger at short range. Not point blank, you know, but short range. And that slows down the game. They gave us Serpent. Does Serpent slow down the game? They gave us the Boss Whisper against campers. And campers are the players that make the game actually slow. So you can now snag the bounty under their ass or start the banish if they're not banishing it. They gave us Dark Side resupply after looting dead players to be able to fight more people on the way to the extraction. So they're trying to make it more appealing for people to pick up the bounty and try to extract instead of camping somewhere. They also added the bonus reward if you extract quickly. So yeah, I don't know, man. You know, the last patches only slow down the game for you if the only thing you play are long-range loadouts, without any adjustments in your loadouts to play close range. That is my opinion. Yeah, then yes, then you are correct. But I personally like it this way because it means more and more stuff becomes viable. I know I will get a lot of shit regarding this, but somehow lots of people think I hate long ammo. Totally, by the way, I totally hate long ammo, guys. It's the worst. That's why I picked my own streamer skin to be a long ammo gun with a scope on it. But okay. And lots of people think I want to get rid of Quickswap at any cost. But first of all, I get shit already for that, so thanks for the death wishes and all that. So who cares? So let's go. Quickswap alone was not the issue. It's just the dominance of the playstyle combined with long ammo. And that was an issue for me. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I will suffer some dislikes here. But if you honestly think that the combo of long ammo with Quickswap was balanced or good for the game. I'm totally ignoring that now if that was an ability that took skill or not. Then the only thing left here is for you and me to agree to disagree and leave each other in peace. Just leave each other in peace. Live and let live, guys. Also on the official Discord and the Steam forum and the Reddit. Let the devs decide then at the end. I think they got enough professional feedback. And yes, again, I do understand that a nerf to Quickswap is a nerf to other loadouts that are not long ammo. But I think with the 1.4.4 changes, like the last one, there is a good middle ground now for everybody. So I think we will be okay. I just hope this topic dies in next week's. We will see. Because 1.4.4 is not just all about Quickswap. Next topic. Player onboarding. So yeah, they're still working on how to do the onboarding for new players a little bit better, and there are a few changes right now. I might skip one or two because the video is already that long, so let's have a look. Training flow, basically less clicks in the menu, you get a hunter auto-assigned when you go into the training. With, I think now it's a Winnie with levering, I'm not sure. And you get to keep your hunter after training, so that's pretty nice. Also, they showed that lots of people were scared of the spider, so they switched to spider for the butcher. Crytek has the telemetry to see that. Let's see if that helps. Once they're hooked on Hunt Showdown, maybe they will not be that afraid of a spider anymore. Then there's also training matchmaking, and yes, this is a little bit of a special treatment. Also, I talked about stuff like this in my feedback video, and this is going kinda in that direction. They get an artificial rating, so they ranked low enough so they hopefully are not matched against the veteran players. And there's still a tracking in the background. That means the moment you leave this trainee matchmaking, you will get your real matchmaking. So that hopefully helps protecting these guys a little bit for a little bit longer. And we have also loading screen changes with, you know, additional selected hints. Sure, the veterans in the community will be like, that doesn't help me that much. But for new players, you can hopefully put useful information on the loading screen. Because let's be honest, new players will probably see the loading screen quite often. Alright, next topic. Weapons and bounty hunt. Alright, so with this patch you will be able to find weapons in bounty hunt, not just in quick play. These guns will be lower tier, like Winnie or Romero. There is a chance that you will find higher tier guns, like for example a Sparks, a Springfield, or maybe a double barrel. There will be 0 to 1 stock weapon per compound, so you will not find a lot. It will not be like in quick play where they're scattered around everywhere. Also, they will not be on these blue boxes, they will be just in regular places. I think that is pretty cool because I don't want to see these blue boxes in my bounty hunt, to be honest. So I think this change is excellent because sometimes, since you can't veto maps and you can't really adjust your loadout anymore once you're in the game, this is really nice. You start a map with a Spark Sniper and it's fog and you're like, well dang, this won't be fun. And then you find in the first compound maybe the Sparks or maybe even the Springfield. You want to switch to that one. That is cool. You have a sniper weapon with a pistol. You do not have fanning or anything for close range. But there's this one Romero, this one double barrel lying right there. You can take that to push people. This will open up lots of flexibility mid-match without the need to kill anybody. I think this is pretty nice. Also, you can do now weaponless runs and find gear kinda quickly, I guess. This would be nice. So, thumbs up for this change. Next topic. Quickplay changes. So I like to play quick play to warm up before my bounty hunt or just to have a nice and relaxed evening. You get PvP in a, I wouldn't even call it low risk environment, there's a 0 risk environment. You lose nothing when you go quick play. The moment you close one rift, or even if you're the first one to die, you made profit. So this is pretty cool. So new players, after they watch some guides, maybe played the tutorial, maybe a few trials, They can jump into quick play, have a look at the compounds, they can force PvP battles, and if they die, nothing happens. So this is pretty cool. However, the lack of healing in quick play made PvP sometimes a bit annoying. Like, you get damaged in PvE, or you just killed somebody, you're hurt, you have to look for mats. And sometimes you won't find any. You hear gunshots, basically what you're doing then is you dodge the gunshots. You're not going towards them, because when you're missing 50 or I don't know how much health, it's always a huge disadvantage in PvP combat. So they added the medkit, and I think this is super good. Now, of course, there's now a little bit more RNG, because the one dude that gets Doctor now from the first rift has a huge advantage, but I think this is a good change that you get some healing, especially for new players, man. Then also you will have better starting gear. You will start with a random melee tool, knife, knuckles, knuckle knife, or the heavy knife. I also think this is very good. It gives new players a little bit more defense at the beginning, and a few people said, but why should I take now the melee selection at the beginning in quick play? Let's be honest though, normally you only pick that to meme around, to have some fun, and after the first compound you probably switched it anyway, so I don't think this will do too much. They also changed the starting weapons, so you can spawn now with a LeMat when you pick the pistol or the medium range loadout, and you can spawn with a shotgun if you take the close range loadout. I think this is pretty cool. You can also spawn now with a double silenced gun and stuff like that. And I think this is especially super nice because they buffed the LeMat. Let's have a look at that. LeMat and Nitro changes. Let's start with the LeMat. So here are the patch notes. It shoots a little bit slower than the Caldwell conversion with regular fire. That means, by the way, that the LeMat is shooting faster now with regular fire. And the fanning speed is comparable to the Caldwell pack sound. So it's also faster than before. I think this is nice. I already made a video where I play double LeMat. You might want to check that out. It's from the test server. The LeMat costs $100, and $100 for a compact ammo pistol, it's hard to justify. With these changes, we're getting close to where I say, hey man, I might actually swap now my officer or my normal conversion pistol to a LeMat. So that's good, because honestly the shotgun shell is more of a coin flip than anything else. They also adjusted the Nitro. They reduced the fire rate for it by a tiny bit. It's a bit slower now in firing the second barrel right after the first, in order to help with animation blending and the quick swap smoothing mentioned above. So you will only feel this when you're standing point blank in front of the butcher and you fire as fast as possible. Normally you don't do that. Normally you shoot the first shot, and since you do not have a lot of bullets, naturally you wait for the recoil to be gone and then you aim again properly. And this change will not affect this playstyle at all. So don't worry, it's not a Nitro nerf, it's more to have with the animation blending. So overall, I like these changes. Let's go to the next topic. Other changes. So there are a few more topics that I want to address for 1.4.4, but I didn't want to make separate chapters for that. So here we go. First thing, double or nothing. Single versions of all guns now available. Pretty cool. Also, when equipping both, they convert in the previous set. That also means that during the match, and you have a single version and you find the second one, you will not be able to convert it to dual wielding. The same is if you find on a dead hunter the dual wield version, you can only pick up the dual wield version and not just one of them. So you can only change between single use and double use in the menu, in the store, between matches. I still think this is pretty nice, and I can't wait to play my black silenced gun with fanning and kill people. Then next, extra hunter slots. Yeah, okay, 10 extra hunter slots available, costs blah blah blah, and level 1000 challenge anyone. Go for it. Good luck, have fun. I do not know if I want to go for that one, but if you want to, go for it. Level 1000, that's a lot. Next, that might be only important for the minority or for a minority, but GeForce Now is back, so if you were playing Hunt Showdown with GeForce Now, you should be able to do that again. Have fun. And then also a question that I get a lot is regarding the next gen consoles. They addressed it too. They want to support Hunt. No details yet, and it will not be available on launch. So at least now we know it won't be available on launch, but hopefully later on. Let's see. Okay, and then I think we have only maybe 1 or 2 more topics. Let's check them out. The future of Hunt. Okay, so let's talk about the future of Hunt. So what will come this year? And we all know this year, man, that's only a couple more weeks. So we get a new boss that is confirmed now, finally. No info regarding that, like what it will be. We get custom ammo types. I can tell you already a little bit regarding this. For example, the crossbows, they will have then not just normal bolts, but also shot bolt bolts. So you can have one crossbow with different bolts. I think it will be pretty nice. They also kind of confirmed slugs for shotguns, maybe not for every shotgun, so we will see how that will work. And much more. They can do so much with that. Then also in-game events. There will be, I think, a second Twitch drop event, but I don't know if they mean that with an in-game event. And there might be even more. Let's see, I hope they will come soon, because yeah, I would like to have some new stuff to play with, to be completely honest. And then one of the most asked questions, when we will get the new map. Map 3 is planned for the second quarter of 2021. Yeah, I know that's not the next couple weeks. This will take a while. I'm still hyped for that one. That means they have plans for Hunt in the long run. I love it. I know that the Hunt Showdown maps take a lot of work. They put a lot of details into the maps. I think Lost in Delta took 9 months to complete. And maybe we'll get, you know, an earlier version of that for the test server to have a look at it. I hope they will finally leak a few things. Or leak. They will finally tease a few things from the new map. And more events. But not too much info regarding that. Oh, I think I covered most of the topics now from 1.4.4. Definitely not everything, but this video is over 40 minutes long, mostly due to Quickswap. And I think that was necessary though. I know, you're probably sick of the topic as well. And I can't wait for 1.4.4 to drop. I hope it will drop this week or early next week. We will see. Can't wait for that. And I wish you the best. Stay safe. And see you in the bayou. Bye-bye. The last days and weeks were quite the adventure, to say the least. These patch notes videos always get super long if you break down the important topics. Additionally, I just wanted to have somewhere on my YouTube a breakdown of the whole Quickswap thing. And finally I have it. As always, a huge thank you to my patrons. I hope none of you fell asleep during this video. I see you in the next coffee time in the Discord. Thank you for watching. Live and let live, talk trash and get banned. You know the rules for the comment section. I try to answer the comments, but it's getting a lot lately. I assure you though that I'm reading all of them. I see you in the next one. Until then, have a good day and bye bye.